Hey everybody, Danny Hogger here from Danny Hogger Podcast and Inspiring Teachers. Today, a huge guest, Lily Hevesh, is here, the master of dominoes, the best in the world, joins me on this show to talk about her motivation and passion for creating some of the most innovative domino patterns around the world and setting them off. Before we get there, so much fun today, I want to give a thank you and shout out to my friends at vintageartwork.com for this shirt. Music is the universal language. I love it because of the big vintage condenser microphone, and vintageartwork.com has a lot more than that, so you can go check it out and find yourself a great shirt that speaks to you and your character. Right now, I'm going to talk to Lily Hevesh about her outstanding work entertaining the world with her dominoes genius. That's next on Danny Hogger Podcast and Inspiring Teachers. And here I am with Lily Hevesh. What a great day it is to be able to talk to you, Lily. I'm so excited. I'm a teacher. I went out on summer vacation, and I was just looking forward to this for the past few weeks because you make these outstanding. You are the #1 domino artist in the world, and you make videos every week. Your featured videos are fantastic on your website. The work you did for The Tonight Show, your corporate partners are awesome. And I, on a much like a domino scale of your million domino setting, I do free songs every week for the world. And I feel like both of us are really into creating something that people can enjoy. So I wanted to first thank you so much for joining me today. I know that was a lot of words for an intro.
Thank you for having me. Yeah,
Hopefully I knocked them down in succession. That'll be the last pun, yeah. I think, that I've planned. Lily, people know all about you. I mean, I'm not going to ask you how you got started because you've documented your story on Wired, and so many people follow you on YouTube at Hevesh5 on your YouTube channel or Hevesh5.com. What I'm curious about is kind of your motivation. Like, what keeps you going for these projects that take thousands and thousands of hours? And even my cat wanted to meet you, so she hopped up. What keeps you encouraged and motivated to do that?
I think really it's the people who consume it. Like every time I show someone a domino video, they just light up. They just smile. There's like something about dominoes that can just brighten someone's day. And I love like building outside in public and like just showing people videos and seeing like their reactions. Like I think that's really rewarding. And I just love watching dominoes fall. Something about it is just so satisfying and relaxing. And you know, that's why I post stuff on YouTube, because then people can enjoy it. It's not just myself. And I get really great feedback from it. So it's kind of the people who watch it and consume that just keeps me going.
Outstanding. Yeah, I was doing some homework and watching a Carrier Declarations video where you described watching dominoes as something like being in a trance. The day I contacted you, we fell into a hole of watching a series of your videos. And I found magical is my daughter's 2, my wife and I, and then my dad. So 3 generations of people could all agree that something really magical about watching your videos and seeing and hearing, because it's such like an auditory thing as well. What do you feel like, how do you describe it, and what is that link that makes these things so interesting to watch?
What is the link? I think people just like watching things getting destroyed in a weird kind of way, and seeing and knowing that something took maybe days or weeks to set up and then it just falls in like a minute. It's like, oh my gosh, I have to watch this. Like, what is going on? Like, some people might be kind of confused by it, but it's like you can't take your eyes away once you start seeing the topple.
Yeah, that's very true. You can't look away. And your triple spiral, I know, is one of your favorite projects that you worked on, and that was 8 or 9 days to create. And I'm just kind of curious, you and I seem to be on the opposite ends of the creative spectrum, where I feel like if I don't finish a song on the day that I'm writing it, I can't. I'm not in the same mindset. I don't know exactly what my thought process was. So how do you carry through an idea from the first inclination? Is it on paper? Are you sketching? I know that you use digital work as well to space out and to kind of map. And tell me about, what do you go from an idea to a finished product? What's that process like for us?
Right. So I guess it first depends on what I'm building. Sometimes I'll plan out the entire thing, but that's usually just for a corporate project because they like to see a floor plan ahead of time. But for my own personal projects, I actually don't really plan at all. I prefer to just kind of build on the spot and see where it goes. I might have a few like bullet point ideas just like jotted down in a notepad, but nothing is really like connected. I found that when I start building, the idea kind of turns into another idea because I'll think like, oh, like how would I add this, or like change the color to do this? And that makes me think of another trick to add to it. And
Okay.
by the end of this setup, it's a completely different idea than when I started, but it's 10 times better.
That's cool. So you're open
Yeah,
to like a listening process or getting feedback from what you're doing and thinking about how to make that next level.
yeah.
That reminds me of like what we do as teachers as well. Like, how did this lesson work? What would be better? I always ask my students out the door, what would you tweak? How could this have been more impactful? So I like that
Mhm.
you're open to that adjustment. It's not a fixed process for you.
Yeah.
I'm curious, as you build, what's your environment like? Headphones? Is it quiet? What do you like to have as a working environment for your space once you're creating?
Yeah, so I do like listening to podcasts. Sometimes I listen to music or even YouTube videos. I'll just have that like in the background playing. And I sometimes I do build in silence. Like I'm fine with silence. That does help to focus, I guess. Um, and if other people are building with me, then we'll probably just listen to music.
When you build in teams, what kind of collaborator are you? Are you kind of a 50-50 partner? Sometimes the teams are pretty large because the projects get large. What's your collaboration process like?
Yeah, so that depends on what type of project it is. For corporate projects, usually I'm the one who plans it, and then we hire other builders to help set up the dominoes. Because if I did it alone, it'd probably take like weeks. Um, so in that case, it's more like 90-10 in terms of me designing, planning, and then like teaching the other builders like, all right, this is what we're gonna build, blah blah blah. But for a more casual setting, like we do a 30,000 domino project at the Brattleboro Museum every year, and nobody really has a plan. We kind of all just free for all it. So it's just split. Like, if you want to build this, cool, build it.
That's cool. So it's a range of different things. What
Yeah,
was it like getting the call from the Tonight Show for the 20 millionth subscribers? I know you've worked with them several times,
yeah.
but that had to be like a whole world opening up at that moment, right?
Oh yeah, that was crazy. Like I remember like I saw the email, like it came up on my phone, and this was in the middle of me hosting my own Team Week Domino event. So there were like 7 other builders there, and I like freaked. I was like, "Oh my god, I just got an email from the Tonight Show."
Oh, wow.
Stopped everything, called my dad, who's my business manager, and within an hour we were on the phone with them. And they were so excited.
That's awesome. I love the look on Jimmy Fallon's face as he's watching, because one of the things I think he does best, I have a background in broadcasting and radio TV, is his exuberant joy. Like it seems very
Yeah,
honest and sincere, and he's like a big kid, and I love that about him, that he hasn't let the statue of his work and his position like dilute that. And
yeah.
what I think what you do brings people a lot of joy, which I think is really necessary kind of in the world that we live in too. It's great to just have a time out and enjoy what you've done. And also, I think maybe you agree, there's some aspect when people are watching what you've done, there's like an appreciation for the investment that you put into it. It's like,
Mhm.
I think this must have taken so much effort, work, timing, patience, concentration. And I love the aspect that you talk about frequently, that one wrong move along the way might set across hours or days of work by setting it off too early. So I'm not sure what the question is there, but I just really appreciate what you do. And I just wonder that, what is it that inspires you? What do you look to, and who do you find inspiring in the world?
Who do I find inspiring? Oh boy. Recently, I've been getting a lot into Gary Vee. Are you familiar with him?
I'm not.
Ah, you should look him up. He's so good. He's a CEO of VaynerMedia, VaynerSports, a bunch of companies, but he has a whole YouTube channel and social media presence where he just talks about like a lot of like human values and skills, like being
Hmm.
kind to others, and just like more he like goes really deep into like the soft skills and like how to treat others and like different kinds of mindsets, like positivity versus negativity, and to be actively optimistic about things, and like the energy that you bring to people and how other people relate back to you. And I don't know, he's just been really inspiring to me and
That's really great.
learned a lot.
That's really great. If I was showing this to my high school students, what are something that you would say to them about either chasing passions or those soft skills? What would you want if you were speaking to my classroom? What would you want to tell high schoolers today?
I would tell the high schoolers, whatever you're interested in, whatever your passion is, keep doing it. As long as you're not bothering anyone or hurting someone, like, don't listen to the outside world. Like, people could be haters. They could be like, oh, that's weird. Like, why would you spend your time doing that? But like, look where I am now. Like,
Yeah.
people, they may have commented like, oh, you're just wasting your life building dominoes. That's so dumb. But I didn't listen to them. Like, I believed in what I did. I really enjoyed it. It made me happy. It made other people happy. And just that alone is enough to keep going with it and really just show the world what you can do, because you never know where that can lead.
Yeah, that's so great. I tell them all the time, the only person that can tell them they can't do something really is themselves. If you listen, then you've already agreed that that's the case. So I love that. And another thing that I love about you is that you're very positive with what you do, and you're creating and you're driving yourself. Do you like to always be working on a project? Are you looking for the next thing and always thinking of the next project?
I'd like to be. I think now I've shifted a little bit. So now I'm more like doing back end things like managing, trying to like expand the team and like keep up with social media and stuff. And I haven't been building as much as I used to, which is unfortunate. But I am still in the background thinking about project ideas, and I have a whole like notepad of that where I write it down. But yeah, I'm always thinking about Domino's, always working.
That's really cool. And I think one of the things that is neat about you and your collection of videos now is this legacy. Like, for that person that commented that their perception was negative, right, that they thought it was a waste, I see it as the complete opposite, is that you are building this archive of projects and that live forever, right, and that can be enjoyed by everyone. I'm trying to do the same thing. I'm hundreds of songs into music now, and it's just nice to, like, isn't it a comfort when you think in your mind, like, oh, those cool things that I've created, and like, you don't sit on that, right? You're always looking for the next level and the next creation. But it feels good to me to think about, even for people that have been negative or just a low audience, it's like, well, I love what I made. Do you feel that way too? Do you share that sense?
Yeah, I mean, if you love what you're making, then in a way it doesn't really matter how the world perceives it. Like, you're having fun, you enjoy it, and if that's the case, then I guarantee there is someone else in the world who also will enjoy that.
For sure. That's good motivation, I think, for the students out there too. So Lily, what's something that you are working on now that you would like to see come to fruition in the next 6 to 12 months?
Oh man. Well, I would love to build a larger domino project, like maybe over 50,000 dominoes at some point. I don't know if that's even going to happen, but since the Incredible Science Machine isn't an event that we do yearly anymore, I want to start a new sort of event with at least 50,000 and see how that goes. And I don't know, maybe we can break some records.
There you go. Record breaking is always good. So we'll let you go here in a minute. I want to pitch you something, and I'm just going to let you sit on it. You don't have to respond to it.
Okay.
But if we could synchronize, because I know you know the science of the timing behind how many dominoes per second, right? If we could synchronize a song or a track, an acoustic guitar where the notes hit at different points, maybe some color changes, I would love to collaborate with you on that at some point. That would be really fun, and I think be a nice auditory visual mix-up. So I'm just going to let that sit, and I'll let you think about that one. But I just want to say, what would your parting words be to people who are watching you out there who enjoy what you do? Let us know where we can find you, and I'm just going to thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your wisdom, insights, and motivation.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course.
My parting words, just keep doing what you love and don't really let the world get to you, Be confident in what you do. What you do is amazing, and if it makes you happy, then it'll make other people happy probably.
There you go. Lily Hevesh from Hevesh5.com telling us to create and drive and be our own directors of our destiny, right? So yes. I did good. I didn't do any more puns the rest of the way. Lily, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.